CEO, Mark Fields.
Well, good morning, everybody, and a big welcome to the thousands of news media, employees, dealers, and students joining us here at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. You know, we're just 11 days into the new year, and we're already busy making news. And as we gather here in Detroit today, we're kicking off the next transformation of Ford, advancing from being an auto company to an auto and a mobility company. And today, we'll share more about our progress, including something we've been working on to transform the automotive customer experience. And of course, we have a few exciting vehicles to show you as well. And to help kick it all off, our executive chairman and the visionary who inspires us to make people's lives better, Bill Ford.
Well, good morning, and for those of you from out of town, welcome to Detroit. You know, Mark, I'm excited to share with everybody our story of growth and also how we're going to be addressing the mobility issue that faces society all around the world.
That's right, Bill. And to mix it all up, we've invited somebody who knows Ford very well. So ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Seacrest.
Nice to see you. Hello, everyone. So I literally am wearing the same thing I was wearing last night at the Golden Globes, so I apologize. Just there last night on the red carpet. So appropriately, I'll start with who are you wearing, Bill? And great shoes, Mark. I've been working with Ford for 15 years, since the early days of our singing competition, American Idol. You guys have been partners with us, and we've extended that relationship beyond directly. And one of the things I love about Ford is its commitment to change. Another thing, its commitment to innovation. Those two things stand out to me. And Bill, let's just start out of the gate with mobility.
Well, first of all, Ryan, welcome and thank you for the 15 years of partnership. It's been great. I remember the early days of American Idol, and well, you've taken it a long way, so thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, mobility. So I've been talking about mobility for quite some time, and actually been thinking about it for quite a bit longer. And all of a sudden, there's this great interest in mobility all around. I mean, you saw it at CES last week. Everybody's talking about mobility. And in some ways, it reminds me of the journey we were on the environment, Mark, where, you know, it was a big change for us. But there's a big difference between this journey and the environmental journey. Because on the environmental journey, it took 30 years to get alignment within the company and certainly within the industry. But on this one, there's total alignment really right from the beginning. Our entire management team is focused on creating a very different future for the Ford Motor Company, and it's very exciting.
Mobility means a lot of different things to different people. What does mobility mean to Ford?
Well, look, if you saw the video, it really, there's a line, the whole line of the video was making people's lives better, and its fundamental core, that's what mobility is. And if you think of city traffic today all around the world, it's a mess. We have gridlock in the major cities all around the world, and if you believe the futurists, as we go from 7 billion people to 9 billion, it's just going to get more and more. So today it's an inconvenience around the world. If we don't fix it, it will affect the economy, the environment, and the health and the safety of the people who live there. The great thing is we have an amazing opportunity to help solve these issues. And so we're not only embracing the change, we're really intent on leading it.
So I guess it was just a couple days ago, we were all out at CES, and you made some big news at CES. I know you've been spending a lot of time, Mark, you and the team in California. We've had a chance to get together out there, Silicon Valley as well. Lots of changes underway. What else is going on? What's happening?
Well, you know, Ryan, people keep talking about how the auto industry is going to be disrupted by the tech companies. And our approach is we're going to disrupt ourselves. And our approach is pretty straightforward. We want to grow our core business and love that business, designing, developing, manufacturing, and marketing terrific cars, SUVs, trucks, and electrified vehicles. But we also see a huge opportunity in growing our business in the emerging mobility market. And Ford Smart Mobility is our plan to be a leader in connectivity and mobility, autonomous vehicles, the customer experience, and data and analytics.
So Bill, a change in the way the world moves, I mean, it's a tall order, right? It's a big one. What is Ford's role in that?
Well, I'd put it a little differently, if not us, who? Because if you look at our heritage, my great-grandfather changed the way the world moved with the Model T in very fundamental ways. So we have the same opportunity now in a very different era with very different challenges in front of us. But to deliver that, we really are on the cusp of a series of revolutions which will enable this to happen. So the powertrain itself is being disrupted, the way people access vehicles is being disrupted, and of course we have autonomous driving coming too. So the opportunities we have in front of us are very different than what my great-grandfather faced. But the notion of providing mobility to people around the world, that's not new to us. But what's clear is that no one company can do this by themselves. It's going to require partnerships across industries with big companies and some startups, and the names we don't even know yet.
And you know, being an auto and a mobility company is a massive business opportunity for us. Because if you think about it this way, the auto industry generates about $2.3 trillion a year in revenue. And today, our piece is roughly about 6% of that. At the same time, transportation services, which includes things like mass transit, taxis, ride sharing, that totals about $5.4 trillion a year. And it's going to grow over the next 15 years. Yet today, at Ford, we get, as well as the rest of our competitors, get about literally none of the revenue that comes from transportation services. And that's the opportunity that we see in front of us, to grow our auto business and build on our strengths while becoming a serious player in mobility services. And that's exactly what we're doing. If you think about it, we're solidly profitable around the world and successful around the world. Explorer is the best-selling three-row SUV in the world. Mustang's the best-selling sports car. We're America's top seller of plug-in hybrids here in the U.S. And Ford, of course, is the world's best-selling truck. Now, moving to mobility, we're the leader in connectivity with Sync. We have the largest autonomous test fleet of any automaker, and we have one of the largest automotive research and development centers in Silicon Valley. So I'd step back and say we're actually approaching this transformation from a position of strength.
I mean, I think it's so fantastic. We talked a little bit earlier today about embracing change, the evolution, the pivots that are going on in this business, the relationship that'll be authentic throughout the course of the year with consumers. I mean, just as a fan of the brand, I'm excited about that. Another cool thing about being here, from what they tell me, is we get to see stuff, maybe some cars, some SUVs. So can we see some cool stuff?
Yeah, we got some cool stuff. Absolutely. We have a lot of cars, SUVs, and trucks and electrified vehicles that are coming this year. So how about